That lizard skin inside the car is great until you gotta grind it off. It's super gummy and it works good, but it's like a finishing step. So you're hopefully not supposed to go back and grind into it when you're done. All right, I've got to make a ground somewhere on this body. I'm gonna choose something like in here. Let me get my little grinder. It's always a bummer when you got to weld on nicely painted stuff. That's all it needs. Okay. So what I do is I try to find where it's fitting the best to start my tacks. I'm going to do the all TIG on this, no MIG welding. So that way I can hammer and dolly it without it cracking or anything like that. It's so easy to cut out steel and so hard to put it back. Tap that around. I found it a little more comfortable to weld from underneath. Any TIG welder knows that that's half the battle, is getting comfortable. Yeah, you're trying to put just a minimal heat to just weld them together. That way you're not putting a ton of heat in the whole panel.
Yeah, because it'll warp it, right?
Yeah, and this one's particularly tricky because you got, I'm trying not to damage this frame and powder coat here. So this is much more difficult than if this whole car was just in bare steel. You can kind of just go bonsai. You'll notice I also bounce around to try to distribute the heat a little bit, to not focus it all in one little area.
Yep.
So this here, I'll explain this while you're here. So So this pedal is supposed to be mounted flush. It's built to be mounted flat or at this angle. That's how it would have been in a factory Tesla. But because this battery box had to be here, and if I put this flat, it puts this pedal way above the throttle, which is a very awkward transition when you're doing your heel to toe.
Yeah.
When you're trying to transition from brake to gas, or throttle, no gas in this case. So I made this bracket to where this angles up so that you still get full throttle. Everything's still functioning normal, but the height is still slightly below the brake. So when he's driving it, it feels natural. So it's an unorthodox way to do that. But also too, when I did this angle, it also makes it clear the brake lines coming off the master cylinder up here. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. Non-automotive people, you think, oh, you just build a car, just bolt it together and go, or just build it once. It's like, no. You have to build it in bare steel, mock it up to where everything functions, take it all apart, paint everything, coat, powder coat, plate, whatever you're gonna do, put it all back together, and stuff still is different.
Yeah.
And you're going, this has already been together.